officially have no more ovaries and no more uterus. I can already see that, like, my face isn't as swollen and all that. I'm told that the emotional, memory lane stuff is normal. Kind of getting emotional. It's more than just writing it down in a journal because it's an emotional subject, It still affects you deeply. But that's normal because basically the hormones in my body are changing. I don't have ovaries anymore, so they're not just not producing too much anymore. They're not producing anything. I don't know the results yet for if there's cancer anywhere else. But we'll just have to face it come what may, right? I did promise Gene that I'd punch cancer in the face for him. It's a proverbial thing, of course. But whenever they told me, I said, hey, I'd rather punch it in the face than just let it take me. It's more than that, though. I'm waiting to see my boys one day, and I'll wait forever. If I die before then, tie me to standing stones or something. Because I'll wait even in death. Because I love them and I never gave up on them. And I never will. Not even cancer changes that. They could tell me tomorrow that I have to go through like a whole regime of stuff, and it's not just so that I can be here for Chris and Jean. They got enough people around them. It would be devastating, but they'd make it. I believe so anyway. I don't really want to leave them though. I don't want to leave them with that pain, but I'm always waiting to see my boys again. And not even death would stop me. I'm not just punching cancer in the face for Jean and Chris. I'm doing it for Rowan and Rohan too. My beautiful little boys. My little suns, moons, and stars. That's what I used to say every night whenever I put them to bed. This world can be cruel and cold, so it's up to the individual, people in it, to choose not to be, so that for somebody the world will be a little less cold and cruel. But you also have to be careful that you're not taken advantage of. It was something my mom tried to teach us, but we were too young to pick up all the different ways to apply it. She died whenever we were too young. My voice is gonna be messed up for a while, but that's okay. It's not like whenever my vocal cords are damaged. It's just because they had a tube down my throat during surgery. It's normal. With some octave adjustments and not stressing my vocal cords, I was still able to sing Chris's song. He was very good today. He did all of his worksheets. He did his art assignment. He wrote a story for his art assignment. He had to draw a picture and say what it was about. And the assignment was, draw what you think it would be like if cats ruled the world. And I find it very interesting that even Chris realized that for someone who rules the world to be nice, there needed to be someone bigger to make them be nice. Or at least someone to make them be nice. Because he drew a giant in the picture. And he told me that panthers ruled the world. And they were nice because of the giant. I find it very interesting that even at his age, even before he's even learned about checks and balances, which is actually coming up for him, he has a basic concept that, people that are in charge are not always nice. Sometimes they do things that they shouldn't. And while he does understand that his dad and I are here to protect him and make sure that he doesn't become, that he grows up, makes it to adulthood, makes it into a person who isn't like that. Or at least we'll do our best. I'm sorry that he had to have that concept so soon. You want to protect them from that, but it's everywhere. I mean, he even saw it in the last PCP because he was there. Whenever the doctor tried to bully me into not, he tried to bully me. He was there. He and his dad were there in the room whenever he did that. He's seen it then. He saw what happened to his mom. And, you don't think that kids see that stuff, but they do. They really do. And I'm sad that he has to know that concept, but I'm also kind of glad that he understands that it's possible for things to be nice, for people in charge to be nice. Just sometimes you gotta have something there to make sure that they're being nice. Because sometimes people get drunk on power. And while he's not putting that kind of in-depth insight, I'm putting my understanding out there of it. From what I've lived, and also from reading psychiatry books, because I wanted to know why people were like that. I wanted the why. I wanted an explanation for how people could possibly be like that. And I found them. I found a lot of answers. None of them were particularly nice answers, but I found them. It is both heartwarming and very sad. But because I wouldn't be there today, I had to think up his art assignment on the fly. And he did his vocabulary assignment very well. I went through his book and picked out words that he pretended to have trouble with or genuinely seemed to struggle with, and I put them on a list. And I'm going to be making another list after this, but we're going to go through 5 words at a time. The list is long, though, because the first part of the assignment is for him to go through, read each word out loud, and spell them. Because it's important to know how to spell them. Yeah, some part of it is memorization, but I also want him to remember how they sound and be able to apply that. He does very well with that version of it, but a lot of the words don't follow the rules. So those he's got to learn to memorize and identify whenever he sees them. Also, some of these words are coming up soon, and they're words that I know he doesn't have in concept. Because, they're talking about different types of angles. And this is in his 3rd grade work. they're pulling like acute and obtuse angles out at him. I already had to explain those 2 types of angles to him, just in preparation for some stuff. But I want the concept in there. So I've put I want him to not only, I didn't put the whole word though, the whole term. I put the words obtuse, acute, complementary, the different words that make it up, and then I put angle. So the goal is so that by the time he gets to where, they have him facing all that stuff, he'll understand the words that make it up before he faces the term itself. If it does. Why is this not? For some reason, this hasn't taken a charge at all. I gotta go, and I gotta call a nurse. Because that's my IV, and it's beeping saying, low battery.